Welcome to this Mercury transit in the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. So you want to make sure that you look at where this planet, so Mercury, is transiting in your chart. So usually it's where you have your Sagittarius. You may have one or two houses that it covers. You can listen to both messages. We're going to channel messages for each house and how it's going to affect us. This is the time frame from November 10th to November 30th, 2023. If you have Mercury transiting your first house, so in Sagittarius, it is time to go. So Mercury is teaching us the knowledge, higher wisdom. So there's something as far as the mental mindset, the way we think about things, the way we intellectualize. There's something here for you to let go of. There's a certain belief system. We're going to see if we can get a little bit more clarity. It is more about feeling cherished, feeling as if the universe really is behind you, has your back, and is everything that is happening for you, not, trying to hurt you. The advice that you get for reconciling all of this is imagine. And that means also you have to pay attention to your imagination. If you have a tendency to spiral down a certain way of seeing how things could happen, and look at if you're supporting yourself or not in the way you envision what's coming next for you. So through this phase, whenever you have a trigger, watch how it leads you to almost project in the future a certain story, a certain even timeline that might not be in your best interest. Let's see another card. Yes. Go and imagine more of the greatest outcome, milk and honey. There is something great that is coming for you. As far as frequencies, I would suggest the Rainbow Bridge frequency. Thank you. If Mercury is transiting in Sagittarius, your second house, we have time for a nap and soulmates that came together. Definitely here, there's something between heart and mind coherence that could be in balance. And the advice here is to take a break, to take a time out in terms of maybe something happens and it hurts your heart, and right away you go into a certain thinking mode, especially if you've had traumas. That's something that is very common, and it may be spiraling you into expecting the same outcome as whatever trauma experiences you have still yet to heal. And that's part of what Mercury is supporting you to do through this transit, overcoming this. But you got to take a little break. So let's see a deeper guidance. We have Chopwood. This is a card where we have to clean up, and I would say when you're caught up in those moments where there's confusion, go and chop wood and carry water, meaning go do some chores, go do something simple, something that doesn't take you to just hyper think. But if you can take a power nap, that'd be really great, because it would kind of break the cycle and the pattern, which seems to be something important if you have that in the second house. This is also the house where your aura shines, so you want to make sure that you don't dull your own light. And if you struggle with this energy, remember, go to the message for the first house. There is definitely a change in the wind that is coming. For some of you, if you are at the level up in the music category, you will have a super empath power. That's something that I actually created a good week ago, because I was feeling this energy probably around November 10th when it started. I don't have this energy in the first or second house. It's actually in the 9th and 10th house for me. But you see, for some of you, if you struggle with a certain energy message, go back into the lesson, okay? But then you know where it's going to help you shine that energy and that lesson. So that's what I have for you. House number 2. If you have Mercury in Sagittarius transiting your 3rd house, the house of communication with the higher self, there is a little block for the new life to come forward. Again, that could be because you have to review some of the energy lessons from 2nd house, 1st house, because it calls you to observe. Okay, so Mercury, when it transits the 3rd house, it say, hey, we're not doing the same thing. We're not repeating the same old, because if you're not changing your mindset and the way you let your imagination take you, this is going to probably repeat the same old, and we're not going there. Your higher self say, we're not doing this anymore. So let's see what advice we have and guidance. Lower your heart, stay true to your heart. Take some time out if you need. Don't let yourself believe that you need to do more, go faster, be more productive. There's something here because we're getting out of the matrix of what we've manifested and that new earth that we want to access and manifest together. There's more beingness that comes forward, okay? And this is where you want to be more poised. You want to be more in that God, goddess energy and harness the fact that the more you work on your light, the more you work on yourself, the more you remove some of those automatic reaction to certain feelings, certain events, then you have more freedom. Then that freedom ripples out in some more abundance in every shape and way. So that's what we have for you. House 3. House number 4, so Mercury in Sag, truth be told. So the 4th house is about the home, your inner home, but also the home you were raised in. And that means there's something that needs to be unlocked. There is, through this process of Mercury transiting Sagittarius, that's going to unlock a higher truth. So let's see, if you have some resistance with knowing that higher truth, go and look at the previous messages. Oh, all that glitters. There's something about being sold a certain dream. Maybe when I'm going to have this or be this, have this degree, have this job, then I'll be happy. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of us can say it ain't working that way. Let's see what guidance we get for this. Ooh, flexibility. Okay. There's something about, a flexible perception of ourselves. Yes, maybe we were this, but now maybe we're becoming that. And there's some type of flexibility of not having to label ourselves too much, so we can actually free ourselves a little bit more from those prisons that we got ingrained into. And yes, sweetness, milk and honey ahead. Definitely here also I'm hearing the rainbow frequency for some of you. If you need support for that flexibility, reattuning yourself to your God Goddess energy. Thank you. House number 4. House number 5. So Mercury transiting in your 5th house, the house of self-expression. There is some type of activation. We have deep knowing and the treasure island. There's something about feminine activation with the moon here and sitting on the crown, and this treasure island that sparks all those little hearts. There's something as far as seeing how lovable you are. And if you're still struggling with this, again, review the previous message or even from the beginning, because there's definitely at that level of that progression for Mercury that there is definitely a gift, and it's coming through the feminine. It's coming through that feminine energy, one that has been unlocked because of the mindset that we have to shift. Let's see what we have as a guidance. No place like home. Definitely staying more in our inner world, spending more time by ourselves. It reminds me that message from the house number 4. And there might be some truth if you're struggling with this, deeper knowing or tapping in your feminine, spending more time at home, meditating, looking at some of your mental belief and program and how it makes you feel. Definitely, I feel the survival kit for empath there. Another guidance to the sea. Let yourself flow a little bit more. Be more comfortable with not knowing. That's when the feminine, the yin, the intuition can come through, when we start saying like, what should I do now and what should I do next, and just be like more open, okay? Open to your own guidance. Mercury transiting the 6th house, round and round. We're reviewing. This is a review. If you have Mercury in the 6th house, if it's a struggle, especially because it could affect your health because of that placement, and it's going to be maybe for some of you, for example, if you were a child and you always had like a sore throat, that could be something that comes up as a signal. Hey, we're reviewing something. But what we have here is also the poise card. Observe in all your sovereign self, okay? Because having this in the 6th house, you also should be covered with all the previous energy messages. And if you're struggling and if you're not getting over a cold or any ailment, then look at the messages for the other houses, because you're supposed to be in that sovereign light. Let's see what we have as a guidance. Yang. Okay, so it's interesting. The house 5 was more about yin, and then we see yang. I would definitely suggest, that playlist, yin yang, as far as rebalancing your energy to be poised. If you're feeling too unsettled by your yang energy, go and rebalance it with yang, especially if you have the day ahead of work. Listening to yin, from what I've seen, it's better towards the end of the day. You can do yin yang together, which works. But one time I did yang at night and I did not sleep all night. That's when I was testing my own frequencies. So that's what happens, you guys, behind the scene. Let's see what else do we have here. The fades. Yeah. Okay. Something faded is coming, and I'm not surprised because that's all this energy to 6 is under the horizon. We're working on our subconscious, our unknown, what we don't know about thyself. But that means that when we have all this self-mastery, the next theme is in our relationship. So that means we're going to be attracting some very faded events in the greatest ways, okay? So that's something also you want to pay attention. If you've been feeling like you're re-attracting some karmic energy, some karmic return of exes and things like that, definitely you want to review the other house messages, and then this will shift, okay? Level up for music, you'll have access to some frequencies for that. House 7, you have just like, I think it was house 3, I believe, a new life in reverse. Okay, that could be another stop, in the energy wheel to make sure that we're not going, it says here, by the book. There's something here as far as some type of rebalancing of the scales of power. Some of you, if you've been suffering from narcissistic dynamics as an empath, that there's something here, if you have Mercury transiting in your 7th house, that says, hey, we're not doing this again, because we're going to attract and keep on attracting, which was also a message for house 6. We're going to keep on attracting the same spiral of events. The way we know we have overcome some of those karmic situations is that it's not the situation that changes as much as your reaction to the situation. Because you can't expect, especially when it comes to interaction with others, for people to meet you always exactly where you are as far as that evolution. So let's see what we have as far as a guidance for you. Ooh, regeneration. Take some time for yourself to really ponder on what you want in terms of dynamics with your relationship. what it would feel like. Instead, especially if you're an empath and you feel like others outside, the world outside is more draining than it should be, or that it's fated to be, you definitely want to take some time out, and I would review the other lessons. You have to put yourself in the now, in your center. I feel this is where you may be able to see new opportunities, a new doorway, because, oh yeah, wow, it says past and future. In the now is when you can actually change everything instead of remaining in this same old situation. I will pull another card for you. Yeah, go the distance. I felt some of you, if you have that energy, it's, level 7 out of 12. Go the distance. Persist. You're going to get there. Some of you, might be something that has to do with even number 1, house number 1. There's a mindset, there's a belief that we need to release. There's a certain dynamic that we need to release, a certain way of behaving, a certain way of feeling. All right, that's what I have for you, house 7. House number 8, very interesting because those cards flew and there's some more. So some of the cards that were already in house 7 came back up, but I feel for you because it's the house of shadows. We have by the book and regeneration. I feel there's something as far as your ancestral knowledge. There's something that from a past lifetime, an ability that needs to be brought back to life. There's something also that maybe a dream you put aside because of whatever has occurred in your life. You put it aside and it has changed your ways of perceiving. Maybe you've put some boundaries, or maybe now you don't have the same boundaries. Just something about boundaries. Now, I had some weird thing happening with the phone, as if there was some type of censoring of the voice. And it says here, think. There might be some type of inner conflict, and it asks you to watch your words, watch how you're thinking, and almost like use your skills from times when you had hardship, how you pulled yourself back out of those moments. Yes. There's something that you have already done as far as a certain belief and overcoming this that needs to be brought back to life. It's almost like it's part of your experience, your own personal book, how you got yourself out of that mindset, and that's going to be your reward. House number 9, if you have this energy of Mercury transiting Sagittarius in 9th house, there's definitely a review that is going round and round, and that brings you, come to the edge. I feel like, yeah, I don't know if it has to do with your throat, if people are crossing your boundaries and you need to speak up, but there's something about being brought to the edge of something that has been repetitive, and it's going to force you into releasing a certain mindset, releasing a certain way of being, acting, how you approach your life, how you approach your finances, how you approach even your spirituality, your daily lifestyle. And your guidance here also shows chop wood. So kind of like this grounded energy and clearing. It almost feels for this that it's a winter or fall cleansing. There's a cleanse, and it's going to allow you to really shine through in different ways, under different light, from within out. And it's going to feel magnificent. House number 10, exchanging gifts and chaos and conflicts. Definitely at this level, there's something about rebalancing the scales of give and take. If you've been an overgiver, an overpleaser, overdoer, there's something that the universe is going to prepare for you as far as a shift, as a grand shift. It's going to strip you from the old ways, especially for some of you. if you're doing some meditation, breathing work, you're going to be able to, it's almost as if just by the simple mindfulness of noticing your own breathing, you're going to realize, hey, I'm not inhaling enough, or I'm not exhaling enough. By the way, inhale, yang, exhale, yin. And what's very interesting is that through that small little practice of breathing and exhaling, you're going to see what's not for you, what's not meant for you. And that means any little details. That could be like, well, this little habit, I personally had to stop drinking coffee. It looks like it's not much, but it was putting me in a very, beta brainwave, which was limit borderline to stress. And that was a time when you're doing shadow work and you're doing a lot of childhood and inner child healing. You don't want to be in those high brainwaves that are very close to creating an outward focus. So that was something that for me has been occurring and has been really shifting my perception and also my way of being able to observe with more calmness. House 11, we have like wonderful cards that came from pretty much all the houses so far, but it felt as if my first instinct, and I guess that might be your lesson, it's like, it's too good to be true, which is interesting because as we take this energy as a story, we're trying to see, are we able to have the space within ourselves to allow our miracles and blessings to come and manifest? We need that space. So what could be, in the way of that, that balance of heart and mind, feeling like, yes, I'm able to receive all the love, I'm able to receive all the cherish and blessings and miracles, because I know at a higher self, I know I can. Not just can, but I am deserving, I am worthy. And with the higher knowing that you allowing this to be allows that vibration of confidence, of belief in miracles to ripple to so many other souls, and it opened gateways. I think I remember when we started having people manifest millions, there were more millionaires, and there was like a chain reaction of people that just manifested to become a millionaire because all of a sudden it was possible. And that's how powerful it is when you have a story that you manifest for yourself, those miracles, that's possible for others. So the advice is to stay balanced, to be fair, stay balanced in that belief. Last but not least, house number 12, a change in the wind. So subconscious self, hidden knowledge, there's definitely something that's going to shift with this transit for you, especially in terms of unfinished symphony. Especially, I feel there's a second chance on maybe your dream, an aspiration. But also, some of you, if you're feeling that you're caught in a karmic symphony, okay, your yin and yang organs are playing more of a or doomsday type of symphony, you want to shift that and you want to review some of the other houses' messages, because ultimately the guidance is saying that all that glitters usually is about, what appears to be glamorous. But in this case, I feel it's different. It's almost as if once you take off those masks of the self that is not in alignment with your authenticity, your true version of self, there is some hidden gems, hidden treasures. We've been having the treasure island pop up a lot through this reading of this wheel. So there's some reward. It's just like seeing your own light or feeling your own light or realizing how powerful you are and literally becoming, from being at peace and at home within yourself, becoming this type of lighthouse. I'm not sure if this shows very well. Yeah. Becoming a lighthouse of love, of blessings. So that's what we have. Thank you so very much. Namaste.